So we're approaching Tesla headquarters in Amsterdam. That looks like it's electric. Yeah, I see a spot where batteries would be. I do not see anything to do with an ICE motor. That is cool. If anyone wants to get me one of those, just stick it in my stocking. All right, so we ended the night last night in Rotterdam, Netherlands, where we are this morning in our hunt for some breakfast. And we were getting pretty loopy last night. We've been driving for quite a while, trying to get closer to Amsterdam. We're only about an hour away from Amsterdam now, and we'll be heading there after breakfast. I'm watching a worker take care of that tree statue that you're seeing here, and it's almost bringing me to tears because of the level of attention he's giving it. He obviously really cares about his job, and I don't know, I don't see that very often. It's really refreshing. It's really touching. All right, I just had breakfast at Spirit in Rotterdam, and I got to give a huge shout out to them because this was an awesome meal. If you're a vegetarian or vegan and you're in the area and you want a great place to go to breakfast or lunch, this is the place. It's one of the top 20 in all of Europe. So do you see how the system works? There's a wide sidewalk, and then to my right there's a 2-lane bike path, which also some motorized scooters can use. So it looks like any two-wheeled transportation. And then there's the road. And between that, you have a nice safety buffer with trees and so forth. So it's safe, and it's convenient, and it's efficient, and it's clean. But you have to have the right space layout for it, and it just feels wonderful. I can't recommend this enough for cities. But what I could live without is the diesel fumes. I mean, as we're walking around, there's just this wafting bitterness in the air, this acrid smell of diesel, especially when you're around trucks or buses. So that's the one thing that's missing here, is if we had an electric world, the sound of those trucks going by, the sound of these scooters going by would be gone. The smell would be gone, and we'd be just left with a quiet, wonderful smelling future. So here's a question. Would bike sharing work in a city like Rotterdam? Because as I've walked around Rotterdam, I haven't seen any bike sharing. I've seen tons of this, which is people's bikes parked, which is great. But would bike sharing make a difference? Because maybe there'd have to be less bikes because they'd be being shared? I don't know. Imagine if everyone you're seeing right now moving around the city, instead of being on a bike, was in a car. Just think about that. Each of these bikes that you're seeing was a car. There would be just nothing but non-stop traffic. But instead, a huge percentage of the people are on bikes, which frees up so much space and pollutes so much less. And it works in this city, which I gotta argue, a lot of people would say, well, it'll only work in California or someplace that's nice. It's not always nice weather here in the Netherlands, and yet they make it work. So you know how there's usually 2 destination chargers at like a hotel, one for non-Tesla vehicles, that one's just, regular old vehicles. This is for Teslas. The funny thing is we pulled into a hotel, and I won't name it, and the Tesla charger does not work in the Model 3, but the non-Tesla charger does. So I'm going to show you what it looks like when we plug in the Tesla charger. It's talking, it's thinking. You think that everything's going to be fine. You might even walk away at this point. I know I would. The car's talking to the charger's talking to the car. They're going, which language are you speaking? And then, finally, it didn't work. See, Tesla, we got a problem. All right, so if we unplug this one, we're going to go over to this one again. This is the one that's for all electric vehicles. And we plug this one in. So this one, you would think maybe this one won't work because it's just for general electric vehicles. Little talkie-talkie goes between the unit and the car, and it works. Okay, so we got a problem. Why is there a queen standing next to a little man? Please tell me. Wait, there's another weird situation going on here. There's like a prince standing next to a man there. All right, so this is an Amsterdam Electrisch, and we're gonna see if we can charge. But now the first thing you might say if you're an American is, "Oh, there's no cable. What do you do? You go over to your front, you take out your Mindcase Type 2 cable, you bring it over here, you plug one end in here to the charger, and of course the other end goes over here. Now the next question, that was kind of the easy part. Next question is we got to pay for this. So how do we do that? Wave your little magic card. We're going to try the plug surfing card and see if that works. That just turned green. That's a good sign. And now it's giving kind of a yellow and red color. So let's go see on the, oh, it turned blue.
Yeah.
And we're gonna go over here to the Tesla and see. That turned green. So that's good. Let's go see what it's giving us. Yeah, it looks like it's 12 amps and it's giving us 8 kilowatts. So what's cool about this kind of charger is that it doesn't have, when it's just sitting here unplugged in and there's no cars, there's no cables. It's just one pillar that's sticking out of the ground. Doesn't take up a lot of space, doesn't really look ugly or anything. And then when you come along with your car, you take your cable and plug it in. That's how things work here in Europe. Pretty cool. So the charge we're getting is 8 kilowatts, 12 amps, and that little 3 there that in gray in Europe, that means that you're on a 3-phase circuit, something you're not going to be seeing in the US, I don't think, pretty much ever. So another cool feature here is, let's say that you weren't in a rush and you're going to be parked here all night or something, you could turn down the charge current down from 12 amps down to say 6 or something so that you would charge at a slower rate. Now, why would you want to do that? Well, batteries do like to be charged slowly as opposed to fast. So if this were something you're doing all the time, you could charge at a slow rate, especially if it's overnight and time is not a factor. All right, when you're done charging, you might be wondering, how do you finish this whole thing? First step is take your RFID again. This shuts off. Pull it out. And then you can pull out the one from the Tesla. Done. I think we're going to take the tram. Look, it's electric. So we're in Amsterdam, and it's very similar to Rotterdam. Look, lots of space on the sidewalk for people, then a lane for bikes, and then a place for cars. Makes so much sense, people. Check that out, NIO electric scooters. Hey Jesse, we're at the Banksy Museum. Woo-hoo-hoo! Look what I found. It's a store called Tesla? Okay, so interesting fact. I'm at the Hilton in Amsterdam, and this is the very same Hilton that John and Yoko used to stay at when they were here in Amsterdam. Pretty cool. here at the Fastnet Dewatering station, and this is a beautiful design. Solar panels above us, up to 350 kilowatts of charging. And as we are pointing out here, they have a CHAdeMO adapter for Teslas even, so that basically it can handle basically everything. There goes a London taxi, all electric, driving away, just charged up at the Fastnet. How cool is that? So I'm here with Yunus. He drives an electric cab here in the Netherlands. And tell me, so how long have you been driving an electric cab?
An electric cab, it's now exactly 2 years ago.
Oh wow, so you've been driving for quite a while. And what is this one? This is a Hyundai Ioniq?
Yeah, it's a Hyundai Ioniq electric. I was thinking of swapping to electric vehicles, and then we got an offer for this car, so I did.
Okay. And what have you noticed is the difference between the diesel and the electric?
Well, there are several differences. For example, a cab driver in Amsterdam does normally wait 20 minutes for a fare.
Okay.
And the first months when I had this car, waiting for the customer was so much nicer because there's no noise from the car and no vibration at all. So you're much more rested when you finish your job, and your fuel costs are approximately 50% less.
So here's my recommendation to you. The Model 3. In a couple of years, when those are even cheaper, that is the car for you. If you want that feeling of fun, oh my god, that's the car. And then you can you can charge fast, you can drive fast.
Yeah, but there's something that I really don't like about this one.
Okay.
And it looks like beak of a duck.
You don't like the front end of the car?
No,
you think it's too duck-like? Okay.
No, it's too duck-like.
Okay.
I mean, it's of course there's nothing to say about the technology in the car, but
you just don't. You're just not a
no,
fan. Okay.
And I'm not going to say my car is beautiful,
Right.
but
I'm just not ready for it. Okay. Now, would you say throughout Amsterdam area that there are a lot of chargers?
there are a lot of chargers, but nearly not enough.
So they actually need more then?
Yeah, they need more, but the Amsterdam city promised us at the end of 2018 there would be 60 more fast chargers, but they didn't realize that.
So there's a lot of level 2 or slow chargers, but not a lot of fast chargers.
Yeah.
And you need, in your line of work, you need fast.
I cannot afford to wait that long.
Right. Well, thank you very much for talking to me. I appreciate it. Good luck on your trips today.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Thank you, man.
Yeah.
See ya. All right, so we're here at the Fastnet charger. Look at this. It can pump out 350 kilowatts. We just took out the CCS charger and plugged it in, and we're now going to take our plug surfing app chip thingy, RFID, put it on the special spot there, and it shows us that we should be getting 175. So let's see if that is true. Yeah, we've got a pretty full battery. We've got a 71% full battery. So here's a little tip. If you're driving along with your Model 3 and maybe you just left your house and your battery is still cold, it's going to take a little while at the charger to warm it up. So it's going to pump in about 30 kilowatts to start warming the battery, because it doesn't want to pump in a ton of juice while it's cold. That would hurt the battery. So it's going to slowly warm it up, and then it'll be able to speed up. So that's something you want to think about, is you want to get to a charger with a warm battery, meaning you want to have been driving on the highway for a while, warming up that battery, and then come in with a nice warm battery, and things will happen a lot faster for you at the charger. Because right now, basically, it's doing that for us by warming it slowly. You know what else is cool in the Model 3? You can do this. That's beautiful. All right, I'm here with Jin. He drives, this is a Geely, right?
It's a London cab from a London electric company.
The London Electric Company. So how many miles or kilometers can you go on battery?
A full battery, 110.
Do many of your clients know that this is electric because it says it on the car? Like they
Yes,
understand?
they do know. Yes.
And the ones who don't know, are they like, what is this car? Or do they pretty much all know?
No, not everyone.
Not everyone knows?
No.
So
They do ask.
what is the number one thing that lets them know that it's not a regular cab?
No sound.
Silent ride.
Silent. Yes.
How do you like driving it?
It's better than with a petrol engine.
What do you like about it?
No gear.
Okay.
No sound.
And is it one pedal driving? You do mainly just accelerator. Yeah, so that's nice, huh? Would you go back to a diesel car after this, or do you like electric?
No.
You really?
No, it's tiring, a diesel car.
Really? Why is
All
it
that
tiring?
shaking and sound.
And how about the smells? Do you miss the smell of diesel?
No.
He doesn't.
No, not at all.
Thank you so much for talking to me, man. Have a good day.
Okay,
See you.
bye.
Bye-bye. See this canal boat? I'm gonna make a prediction that these will be some of the first large ships to go fully electric. Let's see if I'm right. Mark your calendars. That was an unedited shot of bikes. All right, guess what this is? There's stairs, but there's also these two places to ride your bikes down. That is because it is free bike parking. Okay, people. I have something I've learned in these past few days in Europe, which is you need to get out and just go. You need to get in your electric car and you need to travel around because this is a fantastic place. I'm not just talking about Amsterdam, I'm not talking about Sweden, I'm not talking about Germany. They're all fantastic. And we've planned this trip to get to certain spots like Amsterdam, but we've also left a lot of it open because there's been so many changes. And one of the things that we've had to leave open is where we stay for the night. And so there's been little towns that we've gone to that we didn't have planned and that were just kind of random. And every place we've gone, people have been friendly, people have been wonderful. The architecture, the culture, the food is fantastic. And so if you're living in Denmark or you're living in Sweden, if you're living in Italy, you need to get in your electric car and you need to travel and road trip around Europe because it is fantastic. And here's the thing. The revolution is happening right now. I can feel it. I can see it. Everybody I talk to, I talk to cabbies who are in cabs and they are going, this cab is electric and it's amazing and I wouldn't go back to diesel. As we crossed over the borders from Sweden to Denmark to Germany to the Netherlands to Belgium, guess what? The borders are wide open. I passed so many borders where I had to ask, like, what country are we in? I thought we were gonna have to stop at every border, take out passports, go through customs. But get this, it's open borders. It's like traveling from, between states in the United States. So let's say you're living in one of the Northern European countries, or let's say you're living in one of the Southern European countries. Hop in your electric car and just start driving and go to someplace new. Because we've talked to a lot of people here in Europe, and I've found out that some people think that it's hard to do. They think that they can't just hop in the car and pass into a different country. But you know what? You can. It's really easy. There's so many wonderful places to go to. I know that you're probably thinking old school, that to get from one country to another used to mean getting in a plane. You don't need to get into a plane anymore. You can hop into an electric car. It's clean to go from one place to another. It's easy to go from one place to another. There's really no excuse. So hop in your electric car and go. I mean, as I was recording this, just walking down the street, look behind me. What do you see? Electric cars charging. Yeah, everywhere you look. There's cars charging, there's charge ports. It's easy to do. When we were in our Tesla Model 3, we didn't even have to think about charging because most of the time the battery was full. It's actually getting easier than you think to do. It's just that you have to do it to experience it. You have to do it so that you can believe in it. It's one of those things that it seems like it's going to be stressful and hard, but then you do it once and you're like, oh, that was easy. And then you start thinking, why don't we go to another place? Why don't we try another city? It's really that easy. That's why we're doing this trip, is to show you guys firsthand our experiences. And I wouldn't pull any punches. I would tell you if things were hard. I really would. They're not. Now you know. Thanks so much for watching Now You Know. We work hard to bring you videos about things that we think you'll find useful, but we need to know from you what you want to see, so leave your comments below. Also, don't forget to go over to our Patreon page, where for as little as $1 a month, you can watch our Patreon bonus story every week on Tesla Time News. Thanks again. We'll see you soon.